In this video, I'm going to show you how my new Eye and Lip Plus Pro device helps with baggy eyes. Say you've been crying or grieving, like I have been. This little guy has kept my eyes from puffing out because I usually get little bags underneath here that just come out. Anyway, we're going to do before and after, and using all the 4 modalities in it. Then I'm going to try something special at the end that's brand new. Stay tuned. That's coming up next. Step 1, I'm going to definitely take off under eye makeup. I haven't even been wearing eye makeup lately, just putting my brows on, and I'm using the Let's Be Delicate eye makeup remover because I've been going through a little grieving process. So I'm going to take all this off. A nice clean palette to work with. There's them puffy eyes. Yeah, grieving is not for the faint of heart. So this new device is really cool. I've tried so many. Just having LED in an eye device is so important because, it's the one modality that I find really thickens up that under eye tissue. Well, if you can combine something that contracts the muscles and makes them thicker and stronger and adds LED, you're gonna thicken up eye hollows, you're gonna retract eye bags as long as they are mostly water. Malar fat or fat bags underneath the eyes, those are tough. You will get some improvement, but it's tricky with fat underneath the eyes. And the way you can tell that is if you do the 4 corners release, where you go in and release the eyes like I've taught in other videos. And I'll do a little bit of that right now. You just take one finger and you anchor, and you'll want some sort of slip and glide, like a little bit of moisturizer or something, your eye cream. And you're gonna follow this bone right here. And I'm applying some pressure. I would say do it really lightly when you first start out. And you can do the same thing up here. Our eyes collect a lot of fluid, and then we're staring at screens. This is another where you wiggle and flick. Wiggle and flick. I know it's funny, but it works. I've done it on so many clients. It kind of scares them first, but I don't dig that much. But yeah, this eye is the worst. But my mom has these little fat prolapses right here. So this takes a little bit of time to build up those muscles so they will not allow the swelling to happen there in the first place. And that's what I've noticed over this whole grieving process, is that at first, when I started using this device, I almost looked worse because I wasn't pushing out, doing this release work first. I used it and the muscles got stronger, like these little puffy bags underneath here wouldn't even come out. They wouldn't even form because the muscles were stronger and we're pushing it out as it was created, as I cried. Anyway, I'm going to turn this on, hold it for 3 seconds. Okay, and when it's on, I don't know if you can see that little red line that turns on. So I'm going to turn it on level 3, so that's level 2 with the blue, and level 3 is white. You can see that little white thing there. Anyway, I've got slip and glide on, dried down. You always want to wear a clear conductive gel with this, because if you don't, the LED, which is one of the most important modalities of this. It's like red light therapy, but for the eyes and in a concentrated dose, but at a frequency that's not going to hurt the eyes. But you see, I'm using, this has EMS, which is going to strengthen the muscles, LED, vibration, and RF. It's heating up a little bit. This is something you want to use for just 3 minutes each eye. This guy turns itself off automatically after 10 minutes. So that means 3 minutes each eye, 3 minutes on the lips. And if it somehow turns off on you, just call it a day, because you don't want to overuse this device. Just see, you can do this, or you can sweep out. See if I got a lot collected there. These are little fat pads too, but they also collect fluid. You don't want to use it on the mobile lid, but you can definitely use it everywhere else. I mean, I'll even get in here. And you hear it, the vibration. That feels so good. And it gets a little bit hotter as you go because of the RF. This is just such a sophisticated eye device. I mean, in most eye devices, you get 1 or 2 modalities, but not 4. That's what blew me away about this guy. I tried it and I was like, oh my God. And I told the story of a client I had. I bought my very first red light device or LED. It's 2001, and it had one of those little probes. I showed this in this first video on this. It had 2 probes, and one had one little probe on it, and it was just red LED. So I used it on him. I just went ham. I used it like crazy, 15 minutes each eye. I mean, it was a lot. The next couple weeks, we were actually dating. Yeah. Anyway, long story. I won't tell that story. And so he was like incredulous, and I was seeing him almost daily because we were dating. And the picture they showed in the first video, it wasn't even as good as what happened. I mean, he had the worst under eye bags. He was in his 40s, I think. But they were like squiggly. I mean, it didn't even do it justice in my thing. 3 minutes this eye. So I'm going to re-wet this. Just put a little more of the hydrate and conduct. Okay, and you can do you can hold it in one spot for just a second, like just as long as the vibration happens, or you can just keep going like this, or you can do this if you really want to sweep out some excess fluid. But you got 3 minutes, so you can do a lot of different moves. But if you really want to lift the eye, you can do hold, hold, hold. And so that's going to help lift. But just all the activity of this brings a lot of energy to the eye area. And so you'll feel like your eyes are just like wide open when you're done. So it's pretty cool. You can see my left eye, how much better it looks. So this right eye tends to be my most hollowed eye. It was just so interesting to see that under eye area transform. And the under eye area, since it's so thin, you can get changes with it pretty quick. If you're using a device and using a really nourishing eye cream, like a pro eye cream with high levels of actives, not super high, one that's formulated for the eye because it is delicate. If you're doing all that, you're for sure going to get some results. I would say faster than a month, but I would give it a month before I evaluated. So I don't know how long this has been, but I'm thinking it's pretty close to 3 minutes. So we've got the LED going in here. We got electric muscle stimulation. We got radio frequency. We got vibration. Jesus, I think that's 5 modalities. They call it the gold snail eye mask. I'm meant to go this way to really get the